Hello and welcome. This is World at Noon on Osrc television. I am Obi Chukwemeka Oti. Ahead of Saturday's House of Assembly election in Ondo State, the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has distributed sensitive election materials to the 18 council areas. INEC's Administrative Secretary in the state, Oyekola Oyelami, said the commission is adequately prepared to conduct the election, urging electorates to freely exercise their franchise. Osrc Zaid Aribisala has more.
After the earlier postponement of the governorship and state houses of assembly election, the unveiling of sensitive election materials from the Central Bank of Nigeria here in Akure is a strong signal that all is set for the election on March the 18th. The sensitive materials for the conduct of the poll were received by officials of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. Aside the electoral umpires' attendance at the venue, armed men of the Nigeria Police Force registered their presence. Acting Resident Electoral Commissioner in Ondo State, Oyekola Oyelami, who conducted representatives of the political parties on an inspection of the materials, expressed readiness of the Commission to deliver its mandate.
Here we are distributing the ballot papers and the result sheets for House of Assembly election for all the 18 local governments, because distribution is normally done through the electoral officers to the supervisory presiding officers, and each supervisory presiding officers is to man a minimum of 10 PUs. And before you collect the materials from the beavers, you have to check and make sure that the beavers that you are being given belongs to the PUs that you are going to supervise.
Oyelami enjoined political parties to play the game according to the rules, while urging electorate to come out and exercise their franchise. The recently reconfigured bimodal voter accreditation system machines, according to the INEC boss, are ready for deployment.
Beavers have been reconfigured and all the beavers are working perfectly well. So I want to encourage them that they should come out en masse, because these are the people that will be making laws that will affect their day-to-day activity.
The chairman, Inter-Party Advisory Council in the state, Mr. Olaoluwa Adesoya, enjoined INEC to improve on its last performance at the poll.
We have inspected the materials, the sensitive ones, and we are fully happy with what we saw. And hopefully INEC will deliver. Some people were claiming that the material did not get to their polling booths at that right time, but this time around I want to employ them to improve on materials delivery.
The State House of Assembly election in Ondo State will take place across the 3,933 polling units of the state's 203 wards.
It's election duty time for officers of the Nigerian Police Force here in Ondo State, beginning from here at the Central Bank office in Akure. They will be accompanying the sensitive materials to the 18 local government areas of Ondo State, and this they're doing in high spirit. Zaid Aribisala, Osrc News.
Meanwhile, leader of the Pan-Yoruba Social-Political Organization, Afenifere Pa Ruben Fashionroti, has urged those who lost the February 25 presidential election to warn their supporters against making utterances that threaten the continued existence of the country. Fashionroti gave the election a pass mark, saying it was also adjudged free and fair by both local and international observers. The nonagenarian elder statesman reminded the president-elect Bola Tinubu of what Afenifere told him about the economy and security situations of the country during their meeting on October 30, 2022 in Ondo State. He called on the president-elect to make security and economy priorities immediately he assumes office on the 29th of May. No fewer than 162 Nigerian-trained doctors have been licensed to practice in the United Kingdom in the last 6 weeks. This is according to the Register of the General Medical Council, GMC, the public body that maintains the official register of medical practitioners within the United Kingdom. GMC in the last 42 days observed that the number of Nigerian-trained doctors practicing in the UK rose from 10,824 to 10,986. The World Health Organization (WHO) has warned that the massive outflow of Nigerian medical doctors could negatively impact the healthcare system and hinder progress towards achieving universal health coverage and health security in the country. The ECOWAS Court of Justice has dismissed a suit by 4 individuals seeking self-determination for the Yoruba people of Nigeria. The 3-man panel of the court justices Edward Ashante, Beribe Watara, and Dupe Atoki held that the applicants lacked the necessary capacity to sue for themselves and on behalf of the Yoruba nation. The 4 applicants, who are members of the Coalition of Yoruba Interest Group, had urged the court to determine the possibility of self-determination for the territories in Yoruba land. Alternatively, they urged the federal government to organize a referendum, giving the opportunity to the applicants' land to exit the respondents' territory. Delivering judgment, Justice Atoki held that as individuals, the applicants failed to prove their ability to act as bearers of the right to self-determination ascribed to the Yorubas. The judge also held that the applicants failed to exhibit their capacity to represent the Yoruba people for whom the action was instituted. Now to Israel, where protesters have pressed ahead with demonstrations against a plan by the far-right government to weaken the independence of the judiciary, pushing back against Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu after he rejected a compromise proposal from President Isaac Herzog that was meant to diffuse the crisis. Protesters in Jerusalem today drew a red streak on the streets leading to the country's Supreme Court, and a small flotilla of boats was blocking the shipping lane off the coast of the northern city of Haifa. Netanyahu, however, appears to be digging in and said Herzog's plan would only perpetuate the existing situation. The drive by Netanyahu's government to enact sweeping changes to Israelis' courts has sparked domestic uproar and alarm among the country's Western allies. Search teams in Gabon have recovered more dead bodies from a ferry that sank off the nation's coast, bringing the provisional death toll up to 21. The Esther Miracle ferry was carrying 161 passengers from Libreville to Port Gentil when it sank close to the coastal village of Yone. Akintunde Akinsemola has detail.
In Libreville, Gabon's capital city, ambulances carry the bodies of the dead to mortuary. The provisional death toll from the ferry accident carrying 161 passengers has now risen to 21. That is a jump from the 6 deaths reported initially. The boat sank close to the coastal city, Uyoni. Mikaeline Young is the head of the rescue operations.
I
can tell you that 15 bodies have been taken out of the water. More precisely, they were in the boat. Thanks to the divers, they were recovered, and all of them were wearing life vests. So they were stuck in the boat.
Air Force planes and diving teams have been conducting daily search operations. 124 passengers were reported to have been rescued, with critics accusing government of being too slow to respond and downplaying the incident. They say the ship, named Esther Miracle, was carrying more passengers than disclosed. Ferries are often overloaded in Gabon, and there are unconfirmed reports that the ship was weighed down by cars, livestock, and other merchandise. The government spokesman said they have no information or comments on the allegation. Akintunde Akinsemola for Osrc News.
And that concludes World at Noon. Thank you for your time. Good afternoon.